I'm registered dietitian Abby Sharp, and on my new podcast, Bite Back with Abby Sharp, I'll be dismantling the multi-billion-dollar diet industry that keeps us in a cycle of self-loathing and food fear. Join me every Tuesday for expert interviews, engaging conversations, and my signature science and sass to bust myths, correct misinformation, and help you break free from diet culture for good. Listen for free on the Seeker app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Wrapping up our first, 4 for Kirby, 5 for Joe and I here at 22 Scurfield, brand new digs. And I'd say, everything's pretty much back to normal in here. We've ironed out the kinks. Things are pretty good. Clock on the wall would be nice, but Riley, our amazing engineer, who's been working 22 hours a day to get things, set up how we need them. I can't complain about it. If the last thing to happen is a clock on the wall, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I gotta say, the bathroom, the women's washroom, if you follow me on Instagram, I just posted a little video of how my selfie game is about to improve.
It's up there right now?
They have, maybe it's because we have a TV station in here as well with City TV, but it's like a powder room. It's like a separate room in the bathroom with like these beautiful lights.
That makes sense. Let me check this out because I do follow Kirby.
If you want to get in on the bathroom selfies, I'll teach you.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first week in our new digs for the radio station, and I gotta say, this is doing it for me. For a bathroom selfie mirror, okay. The lighting, wow. Can we talk about that for a second? That was the video, and okay.
Yeah.
I think that should be a new segment on the show where you dictate Kirby's selfies.
Well, I was reading it as it came up.
I had it like it was a video. Yeah.
I wouldn't even know how to do that, but it had words to follow along.
Our bathroom is a bathroom stall situation, which I'm not going number 2 very often at work anyway, but a bathroom stall here at work, it's not happening ever now. I'm not a big fan of the stall unless it's emergency. It's a clean bathroom.
Very nice.
It's a clean bathroom.
Is there a urinal in there?
There's a urinal and a stall.
That's it.
Old building, private bathroom. By that, I mean only one person in there at a time. So that, other than, I'm in here, other than having to deal with that, it was pretty good if you had to go. But here, I'm not in there in the stall and having Joe and Iron Mike wander in there. Hey, boys, tough night last night. Don't mind me. Pass me the Febreze.
Hold on. Happening. You got to walk in there and first look down, and if you recognize the shoes, then you can start having a conversation, have the meeting. But it's pretty small in there as far as just the one
tight.
stall.
It's
and
tight.
You're right.
It is awkward when you have a public open space like that in the office to go to the washroom because,
And you talk to my brother, who's a truck driver, and I complain about this to him. He's like, "Are you kidding me?"
That's right.
My life is in bathroom stalls and public showers and truck stops. Now, those are pretty nice.
Your dignity goes out of the window.
That's the guy I want to follow on Instagram for bathroom selfies.
He's good. His selfie game. it's
can we talk about that for a second?
Okay.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
T. Kona with a question, and with all the complaints about slow driving, get in the right lane if you want to drive slow, I'm surprised because we've had this conversation on the show before.
Everybody calling in about slow drivers and wanting everybody to move to the right lane. Maybe somebody can answer, but doesn't that only really apply to freeways and highways where they have designated fast lanes? They actually do in the States, but a place like Bishop and Chief, Peguis, all that, does that apply there? Because really, they're not a highway. They're just a boulevard. If I'm going 85, I'm not pulling over the goddamn right side just because you want to go 105, right? Not a highway. Right? I get it, though. I do get it, but maybe somebody can answer. Have a good day.
We have had someone call up and say pretty much and answer that question, I believe, in the past and say, hey, that whole get to the right thing only applies on the highways.
Well, it's almost impossible in the city anyway, the way it's structured, because if you're coming in off of, it's hard enough sometimes on streets like Abinogi, Meekinaw, and that anyway, because when you're coming in off of those yields in this town, you don't know. Some people come to a complete stop. Some people speed to get in, and you're not moving back and forth. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like an unwritten rule, though. Like, I mean, it's like I do try to adhere to it even in the city when I can.
Really? Okay. I don't. Not in the city.
Okay.
Like get right if you're driving a little slower, like on a Abinogi or a Fermor?
Even on like Pembina. Like
really,
I'll just I'll go over to the right side just to let the speedy drivers go.
Okay.
I just don't think the city's laid out for that, to be honest.
Because you're always out of light.
Which is, like cars. I said, when I can. Like when it's not congested traffic.
I knew we'd get responses and angry responses to the call yesterday complaining about the heavy machinery going slow in the city. And we have a couple of calls, so I'll play them both and then we'll discuss.
This is Roller calling about this guy calling about heavy equipment on the road. There's a little problem with driving down Wilkes. There's no room on the shoulder for the machine to drive on the shoulder. We'd still be on the halfway on the damn lane. So you still don't have room to pass. So suck it up, Buttercup. Thanks. Bye.
And this one here, a little less kind.
Hey, this is for the donkey that was talking about slow, heavy equipment running down Wilkes in the actual driving lane. I'm one of those guys that might drive a loader in the winter. And have you ever tried to drive one of those bouncy mothers on unpaved gravel road? Well, you should try because your nuts will wind up in the bottom of your stomach. It's that bad. So when you see the flashing lights, the beacon on, and we're in the roadway, well, maybe you just sit and wait. Sure, we could pull over, but now we're waiting to try to get back in traffic, or like I say, we are bouncing our balls on the shoulder gravel road. So, you know what? Just deal with it.
The only nuts I want in my stomach are cashews, for the record, okay?
That's a good it's a good nut to choose.
They're good.
They're cashews.
Yeah. Sounds very uncomfortable.
Listen, by the way, on Wilkes, for that stretch from Kenaston all the way down to the West Perimeter now, they've reduced the speed from 90 and 80 as you get closer to the West Perimeter. It's down to 80 and 70.
Take
on
note.
top of it. That just went into play like a couple of days ago.
I don't think I knew that. Thank you, Joe. All right, Frankie's Pizza. The tow truck cowboy, apparently a big fan there, JoJo.
Well, it's been a minute, but it's your friendly neighborhood tow truck cowboy. I do apologize for the interim delay in responses or talking here. I'm not even calling to pick a bone or anything like that. I'm actually in a great mood, good day, good life, just chilling, relaxing. And, not sponsored. But I do have to say, Joe, once again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. That's a hell of a pizza at Frankie's. Been gone for a minute, came back. But you know what, I'm hungry. I'm going to get pizza. I was sitting there thinking, I'm going to go with the classic, get slices. That's my go-to. And all that. I'm like, no, I'm going to splurge a little bit. Go get that Joe's Pizza there at Frankie's. Woo! Said it before. Say it again. Once again, not sponsored yet. I do some unsavory things to get my hand on that pizza. Anyways, y'all have a good. We'll chat you later.
See, that's how I knew Tow Truck Cowboy was at the restaurant. The server told me some guy just wailed in there. He yelled after he ate his pizza.
Let me just throw it out there. If you're ever looking to do some TV for Frankie's, Tow Truck Cowboy, I just can visualize him in a cowboy hat. Hi, I'm Tow Truck Cowboy. Well, now hungry.
Yeah, I could see it. We're going to do it from a used car lot, too. I love it, because that's the sound. I love it.
Let's wrap with this. This is so good. We don't talk enough about crop dusting on the show.
What?
So I was shopping with a girlfriend the other day, and we wandered into Bath and Body Works. Woo. I'm glad I walked in there because I had to pass gas like nobody's business. And let me tell you, that's the best place to crop dust everybody is just sniffing candles. They don't even notice what's going on. That smells so good. I started giggling after that. But just let everybody know, if you really got to pass it, Bath and Body Works, nobody will ever notice. Have a good day.
That's a great pro tip.
Wow. That's a life hack.
Yes.
Is that on TikTok? Can you get it on TikTok,
I
Kirby?
have no words.
That guy's got to get that up on social media.
That's a smart move.
That is a great move. Thank you for that call and that advice this morning.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
I want to talk about the Winnipeg Jets quickly here, but before we get into it, Vinny, Dr. Hockey was weighing in on the Jets' red-hot start and on the bone phone. Didn't get a chance to play it, so here we go, because we get requests all the time. Yeah, Jets are doing great, but what does Dr. Hockey think?
Oh, yeah, thanks for playing the birthday song. Appreciate it. But anyways, to talk about hockey, this is Dr. Hockey. Anyways, I was thinking before the Jets started, if they go 8-0, maybe lose 1, maybe 2 at most, then I'll be a strong Jets supporter. Like, I've given up on the Jets because they've done the same thing, every year. Just want the greatest hockey team. But right now, they're doing great. They're doing excellent. But they have to win 7 or 8-0 and lose 1 or 2 at most, like I said. They do that for a while, maybe a month or 2, then I will support the Jets. I'm just not quite convinced yet. Well, we'll see how many they'll lose. They got to lose sometime. They made some changes, which is good. Seen them playing really good. But I'll give them, at least, 2-3 weeks. They can do that. Then they're going all the way. Oh. Jets can do that. Then they will win the cup.
What?
That's a promise.
What?
From Vinny.
Wow.
Good morning, City.
That's a new, by the way, that's a new
wow.
sign off.
I like it.
The whole Good Morning Vietnam.
That was a little bit new. There's a second I got to hit that again because that's so new.
Good morning, City.
Thank you.
Wow, he really picked it up there at the end.
Did. But
Very good.
He's got them what? If they keep winning, what? 7 out of every 8, or if they stay at this pace, he figures they're going all the way.
What the heck? I remember reading at the beginning of the year, and it's still early, what the going rate for the Jets was. Wasn't it like something like 56-1?
Yeah,
it might have been even higher.
I do think
if somebody remembers, please let us know on the Boston Pizza text line.
I think Vinny touched on something a lot of Jets fans are feeling is we've seen these red hot starts before. And the key with the Jets is going to be maintain for the whole season.
Yeah.
And when you run into these big, heavy Dallas teams in Colorado, and you know what? I hate to mention the playoffs because we're in late October. The season has just started, but Jets fans also want to see something in the playoffs too.
Yeah.
Not just a hot start.
And I think that's exactly what the hardcore fans are thinking right now. Great start. Had a great season last year. But at the end of the day, what will the playoffs bring? And it's weird to say that because it's still so early, but success is good.
I got to get my ass out to a game. I haven't been to a game yet this year. I mean, we're just starting here, but they've got some new things going on over there at Canada Life Center. We're hearing good things about the new in-house experience.
I'll tell you what I've been most impressed with, and this has come up on the Boston Pizza text line, is price of tickets. But I'm noticing more and more family bundling stuff. Like I just got an email that involved Disney on Ice tickets and Jets tickets. Like I think it was a 4-pack for each. And I think the package was like $73 per person. That's so good. If you break it down, like 2 different events and that kind of stuff. So they're trying to get creative in that end.
They're working at it.
Yeah.
Coming up next hour. Hey, do you guys have football picks ready to roll?
I woke up with them. Okay?
Yeah, Kirby, I know.
We keep winning.
Yeah, baby. We're coming off a win with the lock of the week. Also, the name game. Don't go anywhere.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
And now, it's time for the lock of the week. Lock it up. You'd have been locking up some cash if you played our picks last week. You'd be almost rich.
Well, I don't know about that, but we are on a bit of a heater.
Almost rich. Come on, Kirby.
You're starting to use terms now. I love it, Curbs.
The heater.
I love it.
Ever since I watched the Vince McMahon documentary. I feel like I'm up on the terms when it comes to,
Well, I'm sorry, but that was just a
Wrestling.
term you heard from me talking about gambling. It's a poker
Heater?
term, yes.
Right.
It's not a wrestling
Okay,
term.
I don't know.
It's
I'm
what
here
you
for
use
the
in your
sport.
house. It's what you use in your house, or usually when you're playing poker.
I haven't had to turn it on yet, so.
It means you're heating up.
Yes,
like
and
you're
we
rolling.
are.
You're rolling.
3 for 3 last week, so let's take another stab at this. I'll go first. I love those home underdogs, especially ones that have above 500 records. This is a divisional game, and I don't know why the Buccaneers are underdogs at home to Atlanta, but I'll jump on that on the money line. PlayNow.com, they're paying $2.15. That's good money for a home team, especially, like I say, one that's pretty good. I'll take the Buccaneers over Atlanta this weekend.
They didn't play very well
That might be
last
why.
week.
Yeah.
But they're known for their defense too, right?
Seems
That's
like
interesting.
the odds makers think that their bubble is bursting. Could be, because they've been a surprise team this year, but I'll ride them. I'll ride them one more week.
That's a coin flip game too. So, and they're they're the underdogs at home. Oh, good pick, Phil.
Yeah.
Good pick.
All right. Thanks, Joe. Kirby?
Go ahead, Curbs.
The Chiefs are in Vegas taking on the Raiders. And, of course, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. Mahomes, I think, is going to come out with a wicked game. I obviously am a big fan of Travis Kelce.
I love it.
And I just think that because they're in Vegas, they're going to show up.
I've never felt more confident about the Kansas City Chiefs than I do right now.
They're gonna show up. That's what I'm looking for. We're on a heater. I learned that from wrestling. Not really.
I'm gonna give you a chance to think about your pick because
What do you mean think about it? I
not
thought
you,
about it.
not you. I was actually in Vegas last year for the Chiefs Raiders game. And it was a really good game the first half, and then the Chiefs just broke it open the second half, and we were just getting gunned.
Yeah.
Because once
else
halftime
you
hit,
gonna do?
yeah. But that's a great pick. That used to be a great rivalry, actually. Those two teams. But Phil, Godwin and Godwin is out, and so are Evans.
Oh, that's why.
So if you want to revisit your pick, thanks to the Boston Pizza text line, both their star receivers are out. So I'll give you a second.
I'm still taking it. Still taking a buck.
You locked in.
I can't lock it up. I can't go back now. It's locked.
I'm taking my Steelers. Monday Night Football. They're at home against the Giants. It's they're the favorite, but you know what? There's not a lot of home favorites paying money. I might as well stick with my heart and my head and go with my Steelers.
So yeah, Kirby's pick, by the way, going back there, pays a whopping $1.20 for the Chiefs to win at Vegas, but she thinks
Mahomes is going to show up.
Yeah. And then Joe has a the Steelers have looked great. They're paying $1.36 at home against the Giants. I love both of those.
I better hope they show up. at home.
$20.
Right?
You can make about $70 on this.
I mean, that's pretty damn good.
I love that you're sticking with that pick, Phil.
I could
I
tell.
love it.
I could tell you're not sure now. But that's.
Well,
I hate to go back on it.
No, I know.
We're on the ship, and if it goes down, we go down together.
That's right, Kirby. You're so good today.
You are.
You know what? Hug it out. Come on.
The heater. There it is. Lock it up.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
I'm registered dietitian Abby Sharp, and on my new podcast, Bite Back with Abby Sharp, I'll be dismantling the multi-billion-dollar diet industry that keeps us in a cycle of self-loathing and food fear. Join me every Tuesday for expert interviews, engaging conversations, and my signature science and sass to bust myths, correct misinformation, and help you break free from diet culture for good. Listen for free on the Seeker app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Joe Dombrowski, no, not the starting quarterback for the Michigan Wolverines, but he is at Rumors this week. And Aiello, you got to tell Joe. Joe, first of all, welcome to the 92.1 City Studios. It's a pleasure to have you, but Joe, tell your story.
Joe, tell me.
We were off the air, and I always kind of look at a name before I do any research, and I just like names. So Joe Dombrowski, and I said, that just sounds like, one of those Polish kid names. Dad's working on the docks or something from Michigan, hoping his kids to start at quarterback or linebacker at the University of Michigan. And I wasn't too far
You
off.
weren't too off. No, my dad, when I was born, he held me up. He's like, this is the quarterback for the University of Michigan. It's like, okay. Could you imagine, like, me making a touchdown? They're like, and there he is. Look at him polishing his heels. Very, very that.
This kid's up for the Heisman with a name like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, first time in Winnipeg.
First time in the Peg, which, great name.
I
Someone called it the
thought that
Peg.
you might like that.
They called it the Peg to my face about an hour ago, and I was like, can we just pause for a moment of respect for that nickname? It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic.
Yep, we love it.
How does a young guy in Michigan
Young?
growing up? Well, you're still young.
Just
Look
a
at-
spring chicken over there.
But Michigan, not known for its comedy roots. Like, how did you get your starts? Especially
We're
because
not? That's
you're
crazy.
a teacher.
Have you heard of Gilda Radner?
Well, Gilda Radner, yes, I would know from Saturday Night Live and the movie.
It's
The movie's
well
out
known
right now.
It's
Yeah.
well known as an
Saturday.
unfunny place. And how the hell did you know? Just joking.
It is. I think Detroit has a saying, Detroit hustles harder, right?
Yeah.
And if you're going to make it there, they say if you're going to make it in New York, you're going to make it anywhere. No.
Detroit.
Because you got to grind. You got to grind.
You
There's really-
rock.
and here's the thing. There's not a comedy scene, really.
Yeah.
Like our clubs
That's
are
what
all
I'm
fi-
saying.
I was driving 5 hours to do 15 minutes, just all over
So
the
you
place.
paid your dues hard.
Yeah, paid your dues hard. And I think it helped me develop the craft. I was performing to audiences that were so different every time I was going up on stage. And it's not like when you're in a big city and you can just hit the alt rooms, just hit, these types of rooms. No, you get what you get. And it made me kind of able to work a crowd and work a room and learn the craft of comedy, which I'm very grateful for those roots. Yeah.
But you're also a school teacher.
I was, and then I escaped because I was
Because
done,
comedy took over.
was done living in
Yeah.
poverty for a minute. But I
But those kids, though, they must have gave you tons of pure entertainment
let me tell you this, okay?
content.
Being a teacher made me a better comic, and being a comic made me a better teacher because a 40-year-old drunk heckler is just a 5-year-old on any given day. You just back and
Yeah,
forth.
yeah.
You dish it and serve it. You can't. And then when a heckler tries to break me and say something mean to me, I go, you have no idea. You're holding back, heckler. You don't know. You know what a 5-year-old would say to your face? I had a 5-year-old look at me one time, and she go, I dyed my hair, right? And she was like, why did you do it? And I was like, I just wanted to look a little younger. She looked at me in the face and said, but what are you going to do about your face parts? though?"
Oh,
sass.
Now that'll get you.
wow.
No filter.
That
That'll
sticks with
get
you.
ya. I know.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times you're facing hecklers anymore because you can't get a ticket when the name Dombrowski's on
Big
the
deal.
marquee, and I'm
Say
not
it
even
again.
kidding.
Say it again.
Big deal.
Joe Dombrowski's name means sellout.
Sellout.
I'm not kidding. You walked in here with Drew, and it's the first time, and I can remember that rumors has been around, and I've lived my entire life here. This is no joke, that we've ever heard of an afternoon, a matinee comedy show at 3:30 in the afternoon at Rumors on a Saturday. When's it happening? Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
That's crazy. Congratulations.
Well, sold out. Here's the thing. I don't know what it is. I think, Detroit, we were talking on the ride here. Detroit and Canada are very, very similar.
Oh, yeah.
and close.
And close. I mean, I got intoxicated in your country for the first time when I was 17.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
no, boy.
there you
That's
go.
the Canadian way.
Yeah,
Yes.
in a little city called Windsor, a little
yeah.
strip club called Cheetahs.
yes.
Anyway,
It's still there.
this in the past year, sold out 5 shows in Calgary, a full weekend in Vancouver, sold out Edmonton, sold out Toronto last year, and now here adding to the list. And I'm very grateful for this Canadian fan base. I'm very excited about it. It's
Kicking
fun.
some ass.
I think I have to move here.
Yeah. Hey,
But now,
you're welcome.
I know.
Anytime.
yeah.
Kirby was telling me about your podcast, so that's been a huge
Yeah,
hit.
like that. Yeah, it
Right?
has. It's been fun.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about if nobody has checked it out yet, what they can
Nobody.
expect to. Which I mean, I would subscribe if I were you to it right now.
Thank you so much. It's called the Social Studies Podcast. One of my very good friends, Gasper Randazzo, is a high school history teacher in Staten Island, New York.
Okay.
And I was a kindergarten teacher in Seattle. So we sort of merged forces, and we take emails from our listeners about they're all anonymous, crazy stories that have happened in the classroom that we read out loud and dissect.
I'll tell you what, my wife is a kindergarten teacher. And,
Which show is she coming to?
I'll tell you right now, she's not selling out shows anywhere except at my own house. And her stories aren't as funny as yours. But I say that today, and I thought she was in class, but I forgot. They're off today. So she might have just heard that comment.
Convention.
Love you, honey.
What is it, teaching convention?
No,
teaching
they've got
something?
a seminar today.
You want to know a little secret?
Yeah.
Tell us about those seminars.
I'm actually going to pop in there after this. Do
No
a little
way.
impromptu.
Do it.
That's awesome.
I got to shake it up.
Absolutely.
Shake it up.
Yeah.
I got some very good friends of mine. Dr. Jody Carrington is a famous Canadian who's speaking there. We're very good friends. She's like, why don't you just come in?
That's cool.
Do a little,
nice.
kiss the baby, shake some hands, move some tickets, and surprise the teachers. I'm like, sure.
They probably need a laugh.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Did you give her the old Joe Dombrowski does not work for free anymore, Jody?
Oh, he sure does. He sure. Oh my God! Anywhere we can put my name, I'm into it.
You know
that's
what?
good, man.
You're an honorary Canadian. That's
Yeah.
it. We're making the
I love
call. We're
We'll
making
just
the call.
slip my wrist. Maple syrup comes out. What do you know?
You gotta eat a poutine to make it official.
Now I'm into that. And okay, what is it called again, Drew? Honey dill.
Honey dill, yeah.
Now I'm gonna need to get some of
Dude,
that.
you will never go back. You'll be ordering this stuff by the case from Winnipeg once you have some on some chicken fingers.
Deal.
Oh, my God.
I know. I definitely connect to a city that also respects heart disease. So
That's it.
I'm into it.
We got some tickets to give away for Joe Dombrowski, Kirby. Let's do it.
We do, yeah. Sorry.
Drew sent me a text, and I'm telling you right now.
Okay, I got it.
You got
Okay,
it?
we can do some giveaways because at first this guy had so many seats sold out in rumors we didn't have any tickets to give away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got 2 sets of 2 tickets for the 3:30 Saturday show.
Never heard that.
Prime time.
Bada boom,
Yeah.
baby.
You can get home and be making dinner for the kids.
You could do that. You might be a little drunk.
Or you could just go to bed like I probably would after a show like that.
I love that.
I'd go hard.
Yeah, it's a day drinking type of show.
All right.
Come on over,
It hits
Curbs. We'll see ya.
differently.
It hits different, yeah. Wait, my shows, they sell out a White Claw and white wine. So get ready for it.
Love
Yeah.
it.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
I had a question for Joe earlier this week about suits and where do you put your wallet and your keys. Sometimes there's just no room on a suit to put the stuff you're bringing.
Then you played Three Angels by the Headstones, new suit, new tie.
That's right. So
Love it.
on the heels of that fashion question, we have a question that came in for Kirby pertaining to a trend, a fashion, a current fashion look.
Kirby, I need some fashion insight. I've reached an age where I am more about comfortable clothing, comfortable shoes. I don't give a shit if you think I look good or not. I'm going to be damn well comfortable during my day. But I need to know, what is it about ladies and their damn glasses these days? What is it? They're huge. They're like saucers. What does your forehead and your cheekbones need from your glasses? Like, whether it's vision correction or sunglasses, these things are absolutely huge. Are mini pops coming back? What's happening out here?
Yeah, little did Harry Carey know. By the way, thanks. That's the professor. He put that on the bone phone. But remember Harry Carey, the old baseball broadcaster?
Oh, yeah.
With the huge glasses. Same with Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys. Little did they know how ahead of the game they were as far as female fashion goes in glasses.
Hey, by the way, the Mini Pop Kids are coming back, actually, Saturday, April 5th. I got the email yesterday. The celebration tour is happening at the Burton Covey Theater. Tickets are on sale next Friday, by the way.
I got to say that I'm a big fan of the glasses that are large. Like,
yeah, you've got a couple of huge pairs that cover like 3/4 of your face. Yep.
Yeah, like it's always been a bit of a fashion statement to rock a big pair of glasses. I mean, look at it. Like Elton John made it very popular back in the day with the funky frames.
I would have to say for women, I don't know how old the professor is, but I assume he's been around.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very, intelligent guy.
You can tell. Yeah, he's got some life experience.
But it makes me think back to the 60s look of Jackie Kennedy.
Glasses.
And the glasses she wore back in the day when she was married to the president, and then of course she went on to become Jackie Onassis. But that look It was a classic, beautiful look, and I think that look has come back over the last few years. Would that be fair?
Yeah, whether it's sunglasses or frames for people's actual glasses that they need to see with. But yeah.
I'd rather suggest that than Elton John as the fashion choice for, like, if I was going to wear.
Some of the frames are super fun.
Yeah,
you know?
funky. But the classic black one I see a lot of on women right now, or brown, like when they're out, more than, trying to make a statement. It's just a...
You didn't like my Harry Carey or Bubbles reference?
I loved Harry Carey's reference.
Glasses.
Bubbles, though, it was almost like they were magnifying glasses.
They're Coke bottles. Yeah, come on. Will it ever come back for dudes? Like, is this like the big glasses? Like Joe, you've got some nice specs that you'll wear.
Yeah.
You've turned it into a bit of a look. The readers, cheaters that you wear.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Curbs, I think frames, like I've got thin frames and I've got I still like wearing Ray-Ban sunglasses and they're a thicker frame.
Yeah.
For men, but
I don't know.
These are the bigger, like the eye part, like the glass part for women, right?
The
More
older
than the frame.
I get, I just feel like the less I question fashion because I'm here for it all.
Okay, that's
I
great.
don't buy that for a second. You always try and dress well.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't question other people's fashion. Maybe it's an expression of their,
100%.
personality. So if they want to wear
100%.
giant glasses, I'm not going to be the one.
Well, I
that's
don't
not
No,
very
but that's not how you framed it.
That-
You were talking about yourself, not
don't-
what others are wearing.
Well, I don't think Professor was judging either. I think he's just
No.
wondering about it, like why. And I think it's just vintage. Would you say vintage always finds a way to come back? And
That's a good word, eh, Curbs?
Is that
100%,
essentially?
yes. We're
Yes.
seeing a huge
Yes.
resurgence of
Okay.
nostalgic fashion.
Yes.
You won't catch me. I'm straight Foster Grants, Shoppers Drug Mart, $29.99. That's all I wear. I
Look
could
for
be
the dude turning the wheel.
That's me.
A few times. Looking for the...
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby.
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Okay, slow-moving machinery on the roads. I knew we'd get responses to the complaint yesterday, and here we go. There's a couple of calls.
This is Roller calling about this guy calling about heavy equipment on the road. There's a little problem with driving down Wilkes. There's no room on the shoulder for the machine to drive on the shoulder. We'd still be on the halfway on the damn lane. So you still don't have room to pass. So suck it up, Buttercup. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, and this one even more aggressive.
Hey, this is for the donkey that was talking about slow, heavy equipment running down Wilkes in the actual driving lane. Well, I'm one of those guys that might drive a loader in the winter. And have you ever tried to drive one of those bouncy mothers on unpaved gravel road? You should try because your nuts will wind up in the bottom of your stomach. It's that bad. So when you see the flashing lights, the beacon on, and we're in the roadway, maybe you just sit and wait. Sure, we could pull over, but now we're waiting to try to get back in traffic. Or, like I say, we are bouncing our balls on the shoulder gravel road. So, you know what? Just deal with it.
I'm never going to look at heavy equipment machinery the same now that I know what's going on in there. Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, I'm going to give the guy a wave. Like, sorry about your balls, buddy. Like, really taking one for the team here moving over.
Well, I'll tell you. I'm seeing an event tomorrow with heavy equipment. I'm going to be asking them about the bouncy mothers.
How's everybody's balls in the room?
Yeah, that might start. That'll be a good crowd pleaser, opener.
It's a good conversation when you ask someone about that.
How many of you got your balls around your stomach here tonight? Something like that.
Okay. Speaking of lowbrow conversations, let's wrap up with this one here. A story about crop dusting and good places to do it.
So I was shopping with a girlfriend the other day, and we wandered into Bath and Body Works. Woo. I'm glad I walked in there because I had to pass gas like nobody's business. And let me tell you, that's the best place to crop dust.
It's healthy.
Everybody is just sniffing candles. They don't even notice what's going on. That smells so good. I started giggling after that. But just let everybody know, if you really got to pass it, Bath and Body Works, nobody will ever notice. Have a good day.
I don't even think they're going to turn down the business if you're going to walk in there. Like, it's not really the marketing plan they were going for.
For more Philly Joe and Kirby, Lock it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.
I'm registered dietitian Abby Sharp, and on my new podcast, Bite Back with Abby Sharp, I'll be dismantling the multi-billion-dollar diet industry that keeps us in a cycle of self-loathing and food fear. Join me every Tuesday for expert interviews, engaging conversations, and my signature science and sass to bust myths, correct misinformation, and help you break free from diet culture for good. Listen for free on the Seeker app or wherever you get your podcasts.